Well, we're back, guys. It's already time for Game 2. No long WPC Ace-style delays here with the NEST. LGD China, they are one win away from taking home the Grand Finals, Lumi. And they are just trucking. They're not just winning. They're dominating everyone they play.
They probably won like all the NEST matches so far in like less than 3 hours. Had time in between to talk to fangirls.
Yeah, I think we've spent more time in like a week of Ace just waiting for the next game with all the delays than we have watching LGD China steamroll their way to being one win away from being the NEST champions.
Yeah, and
that's pretty scary.
People keep saying they pick the same stuff, but the same stuff that works. It's the LG China thing that you know what's coming, but can you beat it? And teams can't beat it.
And I think what's coming is it's stronger and more suitable for the current metagame. Like, at TI3, they're always trying to do that 4 protect 1. That wasn't really a very strong strategy at the time, but aggressive early pressure, strong laning supports, tempo controlling mids who can set up kills early. That is a very strong style for this patch and this version. So, hey, they might be a little bit predictable, but I will even say, like, sure, they're picking the same heroes a lot of games, but yesterday I saw a Spectre mid out of this team.
Right.
They went aggressive trying Pugna. They might be predictable in their drafts, but I think their adjustments and just their willingness to make lanes that work instead of going with what they're most comfortable with is impressive.
Yeah, so from the last game, we saw a Beastmaster that was smoke ganking all day with this team. I think we're going to see a little bit of a difference because LG China most likely going to put that Venomancer mid, and he isn't a person that's going to be smoke ganking. He's going to be there dropping wards and being annoying. He's going to build mech. He's going to be, be the central focus for his team in terms of building utility and teamfight items. So I think LGD, like you said, is going to be versatile, but they're going to do it a little bit differently. So let's see how IG is going to combat that.
It's still not like an off-the-wall strat. We've seen them do this a lot before. It's just a different one from what they used last game. So it should not shock IG. Now, generally when they do this Veno mid, I want to say they've been picking... what if they picked a Spectre one game for Xiaotuji? What else has he played? I guess
they had support Alchemist with it.
Yeah.
They had a Weaver on top. I think yesterday we were saying they had a Acid Spray, Venomancer, Poison Nova, and then Weaver that was farming really well. I was like, oh man,
get
Radiance.
Yeah.
And then he went Desolator, which
worked.
It was a little bit disappointing, but they like to do these kind of stuff where it's like a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, and then it adds up to a ton. So I think what LG wants to do right here is ban out both Lone Druid and then Anti-Mage. That's what they did last time on the secondary bans. And here we go. There's AM ban. IG as of late has been running a lot of Lone Druid, so I think that's definitely a respect ban that's deserved.
And I think an Anti-Mage ban is really smart this game because of your supports. You have Visage and Veno, even if it's a mid-Veno. It's not a Beastmaster. It's not a Storm Spirit. These heroes are not good at killing AM or punishing a split push. So if you can't punish it, just ban it.
Right.
Smart strategy from them.
So for Invictus Gaming, like we said, they know exactly what LG China is probably going to do. I think you want to attack the trialing. If you kill the Venomancer like a couple times, I think we saw other teams do it. Like they just kept ganking Xiao 8.
Yeah.
Normally it works because normally
that's a red herring.
Yeah. Normally he plays things like Puck or Beastmaster, where if you kill those tempo heroes, he's not going to be a factor for his team. If you gank a Venomancer, he just TPs back to the lane and drops more wards. I think you have to focus on the other lanes, whether it's shutting down Yao or shutting down Xiaotuji, or maybe just make sure that the supports just don't get crazy out of control. Leave Venomancer to do what he's gonna do, because he's gonna give you a mech, and that's pretty much it.
They now go back for a Dragon Knight, so perhaps it is gonna be a support Veno. We have seen them. I think they even went for the Dragon Knight one game, and they put Xiaotuji on it.
Safe lane, yeah.
So it's not a guarantee it's mid Dragon Knight, even though that's where we see him 99% of the time otherwise. But it could be, and it could be a support Veno. And if it's actually support Veno and Visage, then you can't go aggressive against that. Like, I don't know if there's a tri-lane in the world that can really beat that. That's a ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
I mean, it's possible to beat it, but you have to outplay them. Whereas LGD China, if they execute properly, will just win the tri-lane.
I'm thinking of something like maybe CM Undying with a gyrocopter on top.
Undying does quite well against Visage.
Yeah, Undying is really good because obviously Visage is already very squishy. You drop a decay on him, he's even squishier, but that's not the story, because I don't think Invictus Gaming will draft Undying.
I don't know how I feel about the Shadow Demon pick, though, because they already have a Crystal Maiden who's kind of like your setup initiating support. They go back for a Shadow Demon. They now have no real appropriate lockdown for the Weaver that LGD China have picked up. And honestly, these two supports don't offer you much like punching power in the mid game and the late game. They're good in the laning stage, but
I was wondering if
it is a very strong roaming combo. They've got plenty of setup, decent nuke damage. Maybe they're going to do a lot of dual roaming.
The problem is it's good roaming, but where's that damage coming from? I guess Soul Catcher could
Soul
be
Catcher mainly.
It's a big part. Crystal Minute has decent nukes. I think they're maybe setting up a Kunkka pick, because the Shadow Demon works quite well with that, and you know, the X is really good against Weaver as well. So
it kind of seems like their thought process was, okay, they just picked Visage Veno. We need one of the strongest remaining supports. So they went Crystal Maiden. But then they're like, all right, we want a setup support, and Crystal Maiden's not really a great one. She's decent, but...
She's okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's not amazing. And we'll go Shadow Demon now, but just the end result is a bit awkward, I feel. They could even aggressive trialing Clockwork if they want to go back to something that was popular a while back.
Okay, so that makes sense now. That's the setup they're going for.
Strong tri-lane, and actually a tri-lane that can kill Weaver.
Yes.
So I like this pick a lot.
That's the key thing. You disrupt him, you just drop an arrow. It doesn't matter if he presses Sakuchi, because if the arrow's on time, he'll still get stunned. You drop a sentry, and you kill him. So, good stuff.
At the same time, when they've gone for a Mirana here, their supports are very single-target oriented. If we get into the mid-game or the late game, LGD China have the clearly superior draft. Shadow Demon is not strong against Dragon Knight or Weaver. He doesn't really get any amazing abilities on his illusions, aside from the Frost Dragon when he hits level 16, but
yeah,
that's pushing it. So overall, IG right now looks like they have the much weaker late game, but and I still think LGD China have a strong tri-lane. But we'll have to see. With this Mirana pick, though, it gives them the chance to kill Weaver, and that is something they didn't have before.
I do like the fact that IG does have some fairly decent way to counter push. Rocket, as well as Nova, is a good way to kind of push out the creep wave from afar, so you don't get, initiated upon. Moonlight Shadow, as well as Clockwork Hook, is a good way to sneak upon LGD and maybe start a team fight by killing Venomancer or killing the Visage. So I like the fact that this lineup, perhaps not so good at late game, they're good at a lot of different things. They're good at ganking, they're good at laning. You could offensive tri-lane, you could defensive tri-lane. It's really hard to predict how IG is going to play.
Yeah, they have a lot of options. As far as LGD China goes, they could go aggressive. They can run the Dragon Knight mid. I don't think you really want to tri-lane the Dragon Knight when there's a Mirana pick on the field, because now if you do that, you have a Dragon Knight against a triple range tri-lane, and he's just not going to do much there. So it's looking like a Dragon Knight mid. It's looking like probably a Weaver defensive Weaver tri-lane, one way or the other. And then they need that final hero. Who is Yao going to play? That is the big remaining question.
Or they could get really greedy and go Venom mid, tri-lane top with Weaver, Shaker, Visage, and then go Dragon Knight safe lane.
Now it looks like the Venom mid, because they've gone Earthshaker.
So, okay.
So,
I really like the Earthshaker pick, because generally when you go SD and then into a Mirana arrow, you say sayonara, that hero's dead, but Earthshaker just disrupts everything by dropping a fissure on top.
And that's IG's whole, it's a gimmick. I mean, that's what it is. Oh, right.
That is the gimmick.
The YYF Bristleback. He went solo mid last game. He was up against Night Stalker, a melee hero who's generally, they get punished harder by Bristleback, and I don't know that Bristleback will be as effective this game, though, because this time around they have Venomancer, and Venomancer really punishes chasing heroes.
Although, I'm not sure how Bristleback works with Poison Nova, because are you dealing damage on his back or not? Are you reduced?
I don't know. I don't think it counts as side or rear damage.
Yeah.
If you're turned around when the Poison Nova hits you, but it's all these separate instances. I don't know. We're just theory crafting. But I think he's just going to be taking normal damage from that. That's my guess.
So one thing to point out is that Bristleback, to me, is actually really good against Visage. We saw it yesterday, because not only do you kill the birds quite easily throughout the middle of the team fight, you don't care if they soul assumptions you. In fact, you want him to soul assumptions you. And he's not that good against Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight has high base armor, but you're pretty good against everybody else. The Venomancer, the Earthshaker, as well as the Visage, like I pointed out earlier, those are your food. You kill them quite easily.
It gives IG a lineup that really needs to do on the laning stage, though. The Crystal Maiden falls off late game. Mirana is not your best kind of one-position carry hero. It needs a ton of farm to be effective. And Bristleback, again, a hero that falls off eventually. So I think IG, it's an interesting pick. It's worked for them before. I like the fact they're not afraid to go for it here, but they need to have a good start. They need to have a good mid-game. Whereas LGD China, I think, can win this game early. They can win it late. They have the more kind of balanced and well-rounded approach.
Okay, so we are doing something different. It's going to be offensive trialing featuring Venomancer as the carry hero of choice. This is something sick. Xiao A going to be playing that Veno. We have Visage being backed up here. DDC is going to be handling him. DD on that Earthshaker. And then you have, looks like a little bit of action here on the river. Invisrine gets picked up by Hao. But back in the mid lane, it's going to be Dragon Knight being handled by Yao. And last but not least, on the bot, it's going to be Xiao Chuji playing the Weaver. He's going to have a 1v1 matchup against the Bristleback.
Okay, I have not seen this matchup before, but I'm just going to wildly speculate that I think Weaver should have a pretty big edge here.
I agree as well.
And I say that, but he's got a stout shot, and he's sitting on a lot of regen, so I don't think YYF should die in this lane. It will be hard for Weaver to dive him, but well, we'll have to wait and see. And the big issue with Bristleback is that Magic Stick counters him hard, so if you're Xiaotuji, that should be your first item that you pick up.
I mean, get a last hit, Sakuchi into the secret shop. Look at the harass coming out from YYF. He doesn't care about the creeps. He just want to drive him off. That's a salve right there.
Bristleback is now Bristle front because he's just going in.
Oh, Xiaotuji, you gotta get back. You have to get off the quill stack on you. It doesn't stay, but it does a ton of damage.
Yeah, and the bad thing for YYF, though, is he's used almost all of his mana in the first wave. So as bad as that looked, Xiaotuji still has tangos, and now he gets the Magic Stick. And now the lane begins to get harder for YYF. It's going to push. He's not expected to win this matchup, but looking at our other lanes quickly while we have a moment, it's the mid-Dragonite versus the mid-Clockwork. Bottle Crow matchup. Neither hero with necessarily a big advantage there. And Banana's actually roaming, so they may try to set up a kill on this, actually on this Weaver bottom. Which I think they can.
I mean, they need a detection, which they don't have, so your Frostbite's going to have to do a lot.
Yeah, you have to, or you bait off the Sakuchi, but he's not expecting this rotation at all. For the time being, they've shown...
I think it's offensive jungling.
Oh, is that...
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He's not going to get harassed. Weaver's not going to come finding...
He could just defensive jungle, but I think it's more like he wants to make a play on these other lanes.
I actually really like the fact that the way that YYF played, he saw Weaver didn't have a Magic Stick, so he's like, all right, here's my entire mana pool at you. You get that Magic Stick, but you're not getting much regen from that, at least not right now. And since it's just a level 1 Quill Spray, he just spammed it so quickly that, you know, whatever. Now he's going to start to have some trouble, though, as he's forced to spam some more.
Banana hits level 2. He smokes up immediately. He doesn't have mana for his combo, but he's claritying up and will fairly soon. It could be the first blood on Yao, but I don't know. You have to cog him away from creeps with Battery Assault, get off like the full duration Battery Assault, and hit the Nova Frostbite. But I think it is possible here if he can get in range. 430 struts up, Battery Assault deploy, but there's an illusion root on Yao. He's going to be able to tank it. Yeah, this is not going to work.
I'm not sure whether Ford to check the bottle. If he did, then, you know, I'm not sure whether that go even work or not.
Yeah, it wouldn't. They need the damage of the Battery Assault, so... I mean, they force out the illusion rune, which is nice, but... Well... That's about it. That's stretching it.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. I'm stretching it a bit here, but the one lane we haven't looked at yet is the off-lane Venomancer for Xiao 8. He started off in like a tri-lane. Now he'll just be solo, but we've actually... Fnatic did this earlier today. It's something they used to do a lot in Heroes of Newerth, was they'd run Trixie on just like a farming Venomancer, often solo, but the thing is with the wards, you can always scout people coming, and you're very hard to kill. So it's not unheard of, but it's a pretty interesting way to play the hero.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have wards yet because he's only level 2. And I don't think he's actually be able to get into experience range because it's very easy for Faith to walk straight up, disrupt him, and then Mirana does whatever he wants with the Venomancer. So I think Xiao 8's going to have a very tough time if the Earthshaker is not in lane. And so far, he seems like he wants to back up the other lane. I don't really think they need to help. Dragonite should be fine. Xiaotuji is definitely fine. I think definitely Earthshaker should be on top right now.
Yeah, I don't see what these supports are not doing anything right now. And I don't think they can kill YYF, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not when he's at full HP. If he's at half, you get off a Fissure, a Soul Assumption, and the Weaver chases, sure. Then you get a First Blood. But I would rather see them even making a roam on the middle lane. They could kill 430 with a Dragon Tail, Fissure, and Soul Assumption combo. I don't know. They're going to be able to pull through here. They'll get a lot of experience, and the Clockwork is, or rather the Bristleback is not actually leeching it right now. So it's not all bad for them, but I guess their concern is they can't really kill anyone in IG's dual lane. You've got Shadow Demon Mirana. How do you actually kill that combo?
I don't think you try to kill him, but I think you try to ensure Xiao 8 gets mana, or gets farm. And
yeah.
by Earthshaker sitting there and guaranteeing him the fact that he's not going to die, that's going to be good. But obviously that's not happening right now, as Two support is jungling, you know, left and right. Earthshaker back to the mid lane as he is perhaps expecting a gank on the Dragonite.
We'll see DDC pulling through yet again. He's going to get off the triple pull and clean up that Centaur camp. The Crystal made an 8-1 earlier, but middle lane could be our first blood attempt. 430 forced to TP out. Looks like they made it go on Yao, but the two support, or rather Xiao 8 and DD show up mid and force the TP out.
Well,
still good though. They don't give up a kill.
Don't really matter. I'm going to get myself level 3. Thank you for TPing out. Venomancer had to come for the gank, but obviously he wasn't doing much on the top lane anyway, so he didn't lose much.
And now that top lane's going to be pushing in. Xiao 8 will look to defend it a bit. With this creep wave coming, we'll see if Hao actually looks to dive him. Now, I will say, even though Mirana's not the best carry, Hao, in terms of her stats and her lack of a steroid late game, but Hao had one of the most magnificent Mirana performances you will ever see I think it was against, I forget who it was against, but he went like, I don't know, almost 700, 800 gold per minute. He was like a 6-slotted Mirana, out-carrying a fat lone druid. This guy hit every single one of his arrows, but that being said, we've yet to see him even throw an arrow this game.
Well, he haven't found many targets. You can see that Venomancer tuck safely behind that creep wave, and no setup from the Shadow Seaman in sight. And I think really that is an issue. You are running a Mirana, you are running a Bristleback. These heroes, like you said earlier, they fall off quite quickly, and so far they're not actually trying to elicit any aggression. That's a problem. It's hard to do it against heroes like Weaver and Earthshaker, but they're going to hook into River against Yao. The battery assault now, it's all going to go on Yao, but Yao still very tanky.
There's going to connect on Banana, but Yao's being driven down here. He's run down. They'll get the kill. And now they use the Moonlight Shadow. They get out. That's exactly what IG need. Just surgical pickoffs. Take advantage of your mobility and your burst damage now, because you need to be pulling ahead in this stage of the game, and they'll start to. They'll push this top lane. They force Veno off the lane as well. That was a picture-perfect way to kind of take control of the game.
Yeah, they really need to kill the Dragonite. I think Dragonite is going to be the big issue in the mid-game. Top lane is going to be a disruption. How getting in position, the arrow is going to hit double, triple TP coming in. Will they actually make it out alive? Fissure is unavailable, no mana. So 3 TP scroll down the drain. That's a ton of early game investment.
Yeah, that is a huge win for IG. That's almost better than getting a single hero kill. Forcing a triple TP reaction.
Yeah, because we're going to kill, what, a Venomancer?
Yeah. I like that. And this is what IG, this is how they can really take this game, is just being more efficient, forcing LGD to react. That is LGD China's one of their weaknesses is, and I think this is where they struggle when they run a lineup that's less of like a tempo control aggression lineup like what we saw last game. If it turns into a farm war, they tend to just always be reacting, it seems. Like rarely do we see them actually executing the ganks themselves. They'll be more just bouncing back against IG when IG forces fights, and that's where you can really start to fall behind, just getting out-farmed all over the map. And look at it now. They've got 3 cores in the top 4 farmers.
Yeah, and when you're being out-farmed, you don't have an RP Magnus to kind of give you that comeback, give you that Roshan fight. They're working with heroes that are not really practically good at comeback, but we'll see.
It does go back to what you were saying. I mean, why did these supports leave top? They haven't done anything.
Exactly. I mean, you can see that Xiao dodges the arrow up top. I just don't know what that Earthshaker is picked for. If you're picked to defend against Mirana, he's not doing that. He's not really doing an adequate job defending Yao because he just got picked up despite the Earthshaker was being there. And he's not setting up kills.
Maybe they just want to dunk fools.
Well, he's got no ult. He's got no ult, so he can't dunk anybody yet.
Needs to be doing those, what are the vertical leap training. I remember my sister, when she started playing basketball, really wanted to increase her vertical. So I remember she got all these books and like videos on how to, there's like a crazy workout routine you do for it, but yeah, this Earthshaker ain't dunking right now.
Well, he hasn't found the library either. I don't know what he's been doing this game.
He needs those educational, instructional videos. They're going to smoke up, but they leave middle lane empty to do so. They both head towards top. Why are they trying to gank the Veno?
So many questions, so little answer.
4 hero gank on an off-lane Veno.
Maybe they want to draw 4 TPs again and back off. That was an economic victory for IG.
Xiao, it's just going mid, and mid lane, there's nobody here farming. The lane's pushing.
He's like, all right.
Great. Now LGD's going to smoke. They're going to head towards the bottom lane.
I like the smoke much more.
Yeah, this is a little bit less obvious. And also, you're ganking a hero that matters in the Bristleback, a hero that needs farm, a hero that scales well with it.
The big difference with this gank is that when you get the pick off, your Dragonite ults and you just take a tower. Here we go. Here comes the ult. YYF's going to get stunned. Moonlight Shadow, do they have detection? Extension Ward's going to get dropped down. Where's the Fissure? It's a perfect block. Disruption's going to come through. Where's the Soul Assumption? It's going to have to fly out. DDC drops it on the elsewhere, and now it's going to be 4:30 in the middle of the team fight. DDC is going to be dropping down. Yes, he does. Meanwhile, the team fight goes on. There's a double damage on Xiao 2G, and that's why they're winning this team fight.
He's cleaning up. If they get one more Fissure off, they'll get another kill. Just short. Mirana able to leap away to safety. And now, well, they had a TP on the Crystal Maiden, just got one from the tower, but looks like she was just too late to pick one up. They're going to lose a tier 1 off of this, so LGD China, like you said, just the much smarter gank, the better rotation, and the more useful lineup to be making those rotations. I don't think you should be ganking Veno.
Yeah.
The hero just doesn't matter.
I think you should be ganking, because their lineup has, what, Mirana, Clockwork. This is a gank lineup, but the target of gank is questionable.
Maybe they just don't like Xiao 8 as a person. See, like he looks like kind of like a... You remember of Yakuza? Have you ever seen that picture of him in a...
Like
Yakuza?
a Japanese gangster? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I pronounce it wrong? Or?
I don't know. You shouldn't ask me about pronunciation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is why is Lumi correcting my pronunciation?
Yeah.
How badly have I screwed this up? But there's this picture of him in a trench coat. He looks like a character from The Matrix or
Okay.
the Mafia, I guess you could say.
There's
Maybe they don't like him because of that.
There's something to be said where you gank the in-game decision maker and you just get him frustrated. Maybe I don't know.
Well, he's Venno. There's no room for frustration here. He's literally
He's
here
so
that runs
chill.
in, drops the ult, and dies.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna.
Hook shot, gonna fly. Actually hooks his own teammate here. Oh, that's not good. They all get galed. They'll get the kill, but again, it's a Venno. This, however, would be bigger if they get the Visage too. Then suddenly,
Yao's walking into Meat Grinder as well, but looks like 430 now being surrounded. Where's the Swarm? Swarm's gonna come out. The TP, nicely done here. As oh no, the Fissure's gonna come through here, and Yao should be able to clean up the kill. Meanwhile, a big team fight going on elsewhere. Yeah, the two tank going on each other.
430's gonna go down, but now DD just waddles into 3. Where's his backup for this fight? The Weaver's gonna join it now. They don't have much lockdown, but they do have a Sentry Ward here. There's no Frostbite. Xiaotuji, it's the arrow in the face, but he time-lapses out, and this could now be going very quickly south for them. They need to run this Crystal Maiden the hell away. She's got a Frostbite, drops it on the Dragon Knight. Once again, not on the Weaver. They will get the Dragon Knight kill, but at the cost of Hal's life. Dragon Knight to fall, Bristleback cleaning up, but just an absolute bloodbath. YYF probably dead as well.
Where's the Scrape Show?
Where's that Swarm? The
Swarm's
go down. There's a
Mirana.
buyback from the Mirana. Look for the sniper arrow. It's going to fly and connect. The plays! Not enough.
Soul Assumption's going to get 1 kill, but they do get the Weaver kill as well. I'm surprised that he did not use Moonlight Shadow. Maybe he didn't use Moonlight Shadow so that they didn't realize the buyback was available, but what a carnage in the jungle.
What a 7-7 your score. Looks like the winners were LGD China, which did seem to be the case. They got a few extra kills there, and they forced out a Mirana buyback. It's made up for because Hal quickly gets the kill, and now Midas is a creep, so it was definitely a worthwhile buyback for him, especially this early on. But LGD China, even trades are good trades for them because their lineup's better late game, because they have just the overall more robust sort of draft where they can push effectively, they can scale better with farm. I like that fight a lot more for LGD China, but it almost went south. If Weaver died there before time-lapsing, they lose that fight very badly.
Yeah, it's the order of the hero that went down. Weaver and Dragon Knight. Oh, Clockwork Hook's going to miss, as Xiaowei says. Guys.
I think did he see the Clockwork?
No, I don't think he did. Those wards give, like, no vision now.
I'm looking at his vision right now. He saw, like, this area.
Okay.
I think he might have seen him coming.
He was dancing back and forth, though, on the haste ring.
Yeah, so Xiaowei won't end up going down. Meanwhile, bottom lane. YYF going for the mech build. We've seen this quite a bit on the Bristleback. Last time he went bottle as well as Magic Wand. But this game all he's got is a Magic Stick, so I do worry about his ability to have the mana in these team fights. Well, there's Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, to me, if he doesn't have a big impact before the mech comes out, we'll talk about that later. It's going to be self-disruption here on Mirana. No, Faith. Faith is going to be, well, going down to a Soul Assumption.
On the backside, though, YYF is tanking it up. There's your Poison Nova, ticking quickly. Arrow to Fly does connect on DD, but it's the Familiars and the Dragon, just the death ball of flying shit in the air. It's too strong for IG to deal with. 2 for 2 your score, but its core's going down now. Your Bristleback to fall. 430 potentially next in line. And not quite enough to get the kill. Now Banana with the huge turnaround. What a Crystal Maiden ultimate. He's picked off an additional kill. That's 3 dead. The arrow's going to split the uprights, but it's Xiaotuji, the real winner of this fight. He lives. He gets a triple kill. This Weaver is fatter than God.
Yeah, what Weaver did was he went over here, killed a Clockwork, and then backtrack in time to kill everybody else. So good stuff here coming out from Xiaotuji.
This is where you draft a Shadow Demon Mirana, and it's good to kill Weaver in the laning stage, but it's just not a combo you can count on to kill him in the mid game. And that's what we're seeing here is if he doesn't get caught immediately when the fights start, Weaver gets to do exactly what he wants. And they just don't have the proper lockdown for him. There's no Beastmaster Roar, there's no early Silence or Orchid Builder, and they can't deal with Xiaotuji.
Also, really the big issue with Shadow Demon as in general is that 2.5 second of disruption time is a long time for Earthshaker to lob a fissure in between, kind of to break up your combos. So Earthshaker in the team fights are definitely contributing. I still wonder where's that mech coming from, because mech is probably one of the best items as well. We see a Clockwork Hook going up top. Xiaowei says, guys, just want to farm.
Team, help, please? Well, he's dead.
Yeah, okay, there's a fissure.
Gonna fly. They might get the turnaround here on 430.
Oh,
during the fight, the arrow's gonna connect, but he's got a time lapse. No, can't get the kill.
Also, DD, you remember that team fight where he just went in the middle of everybody?
Oh, they're descending on this top lane, and they just teleported into the fight. Now Xiaotuji on the run. He's gonna get away. They only lose an Earthshaker here. 4 or 5 heroes rotating, the Fissure coming through, but he already TP top, so no way out for him.
Well, here comes the Dragonite. Well, you can't really just... Well, they're trying to go for the kill, but Dragonite just doing so much damage. Hao's going to go down. He magic sticks out the bug. It's going to actually end up bringing him down. But the call coming in from Yao, it's going to focus from 430, focus down on Yao. Weaver's still going to work. Oh, man, these...
Does he really have time-lapse available? He never used it that entire fight. Unbelievable. Now 430's on the run. YYF's on the run. They just can't lock down the Weaver. It goes back to the support picks. Shadow Demon, Crystal Maiden. Your only reliable stun is a disruption into Arrow. And Xiao Tuji is just playing, like he's living on the edge and coming out on top every single time.
The big problem with IG is that their team is built upon like long team fights. When you have a Bristleback, you want to be in the middle and Creel Spray all day. But LGD seems like they're just better.
They have their entire lineup is built for long team fights.
Yeah, they have the Weaver, they have the Venomancer, and if you
and
allow
the Visage.
Yeah, if you allow Visage to throw out multiple soul assumptions, you have lost that team fight.
And now there's a BKB on this Weaver. Now they really don't have any way to kill him. I mean, even if you go for the arrow combo, like you can just be mashing that BKB as the arrow's flying in, and it is instant, so it's very hard to actually hit the arrow in time.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're IG, you can't really beat them in a straight-up engagement. You just have to outplay them in terms of better mobility, but they seem like they want to keep on fighting. They need to defend this tier 1 top.
Wrapping around was Banana. He's going to deploy an Observer Ward. IG could be headed for a quick and ignominious 0-2 defeat in the grand finals of NEST here. Can they find a way back into this game? If not, that'll be all she wrote. It is a best of 3, and LGD just need one more win to stake their claim as potentially the new top dogs in China.
Yeah.
DK, they're still your overall, I think, winningest team since the roster shuffle, but
they haven't won a single thing yet, though.
I haven't actually won any events yet.
Yeah, LGD
just
China
doing well in a regular season.
Yeah, LG China is looking like they're going to be the first team to win something in China.
We'll see. They're defending the tier 1 top now, and with max Plague Wards, IG, very annoying for them to push into this.
Quick question to ask you, LD. Who won Cena Cup?
You cast that.
Yeah, I don't remember. And you didn't cast that. Do you remember?
I was back east.
Yeah,
when
you're
that
on
happened.
vacation.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
Can somebody check that for me? Jared,
Google that.
Yeah. Who won Cena Cup? I'm curious.
Cena Cup. SINA.
Yeah, it wasn't DK. DK wasn't in the tournament. So DK so far is penniless in terms of victory.
Cow is just standing around like waiting to go to BlizzCon here, just hoping this is a 2-0 sweep. It's like, what? I have to go Google stuff for you guys?
Let me Google that for you, please.
Yes, Google that for me. What is that website?
LMG. Let me Google that for you.
FTY.com. That is the most condescending, obnoxious website. What's it?
It was like, okay. So
You didn't say it was IG. Well, maybe if you didn't mumble so much, we would have heard you.
Right.
Okay, we'll stop squabbling with Kawa like small children here, and we'll catch the damn game. LGD China, smoked up, heading towards top. 430 is going to be the one who leads the way, but he gets Dragon Tails. No hook shot. You do not want your Clockwork getting initiated upon like this. This looks bad. Poison over to fly. Clips on 2. 430 just melting to a hailstorm of damage. Dunk actually comes out from DD. He gets off a 4-hero fissure in the midst of it.
Oh,
and the Crystal Maiden ult, I just don't think it'll be enough. Xiao Tuji hasn't even bothered to run away yet. Actually, he did use BKB, but never even needed a time lapse. They come in from the backside, though. 3 for 2 so far. Yao juking. He's got a Dragon Tail here in 3 seconds. I think he'll go down to Faith. One last click. But it's basically a team wipe. Who actually lived there?
It was Hao that leaped to the low ground because nobody else chased him. I was like, Weaver, you got the kill. You got the kill. No, he went Fake instead. So
they just can't deal with this Weaver, Lumi.
They can't. That looked pretty good. Like your tankiest hero in the front line being focused. He got disrupted. He got a cog in the middle of everybody, and CM was having a field day behind, but it didn't work. So I think that was their best team fight, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and this was right before LGD China got their mech, which they now pick up the recipe for. Visage has hit level 11 at 19 minutes. Let me just reiterate. Visage has hit level 11 at 19 minutes.
And also, more
the
importantly,
enemy supports have 750 health, 800 health. Even your Mirana's sitting at around 1200. I think this Visage can solo anyone except for the Bristleback and the Clockwork.
I also think with the mech coming out, your Bristleback Crow Sprays are laughable. Like, the armor on this team is just ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, Bristleback, as much as it was fun to see yesterday, he does have his weaknesses. He's a hero with no lockdown, he doesn't scale that well with farm, and he is countered by armor to pretty much full extent. Still, IG not 100% out of this game, but for me, it's all about how now. He's just got to hit amazing arrows all game long, constantly sniping heroes out. Maybe they try to go for a Moonlight Shadow initiation, but they can't because there's a Sentry Ward mid.
Yeah.
LGD is just, they're always known for their preparation. They rarely get caught out of position or make big mistakes.
Gale gonna go YYF, just a little bit harassed. Yao pops his Dragon Form, but gets purged. He's gonna try to run out of here. He's gonna be fine. Full sprays being stacked up here and there, but they don't really care. Here comes Xiao
Arrow to Fly does connect on DDC. He's not able to block it with his familiars, but a 3-hero fissure. Uh-oh. If they didn't get blocked away from that, I think LGD China may have dove there.
Again, two teams that like to kind of wear each other out in terms of team fight, but I think LGD's having the advantage. They're encroaching on the high ground, just moving on down this creep wave. They have more regen overall. And YYF on the front line, he can't really even dive in.
And their way of wearing you down is longer range. Plague Wards is longer range, the Swarm's very long range, Fissure's long range, and the Bristleback, the big attrition hero,
what a
has
block.
to be close to fight. He gets fissured up immediately. Now comes your hook shot. 430's caught 2, but the Nova comes out. It's going to clip 3, and now on the backside it's Yao cleaning house. Xiao Tuji going to work as well. This is it.
Dunk.
The dunk. Banana's going to drop as well. That'll be a 4-man team wipe. Potentially even all 5 heroes dead. Pal forced to blink out, and they'll lose the Crystal Maiden there as well. Bodies hitting the floor, left, right, and center, and LGD China well on their way to a clean 2-0 sweep.
For what it's worth,
They've got Deso on Weaver.
How did get a double kill in that team fight? He killed the Visage and the Venomancer, but, I mean, when the rest of your team is dead.
Would you rather have a level 17 Weaver with a BKB and a Desolator? Or would you rather have a Luna or a Mirana with a BKB, a Midas, and level 15?
I would rather have a Weaver with that item and a Radiance, and not the Deso. To really answer your question.
I actually like Deso versus Bristleback, though, because you just want to kill him fast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have any issue killing him fast, considering the fact that
he's like food this game.
That perfect visual block from DD was. I mean, DD these 2 games has been playing really well.
Monster. You know, it used to be that he was just. It felt like one of the weaker support players and amongst the top premier Chinese teams, but I don't know if it's just the heroes that he's playing lately. If he, met a new girl and she's inspiring him or what, but he's bringing his A game all of a sudden.
I really think the new patch asks a lot more out of your supports. They play very differently from the traditional, hey, we sit here and buy wards kind of thing. Nowadays, among from pulling and warding and smoke ganking, sometimes you go off lane. Sometimes you play Ancient Apparition off lane like one of the DK player did. Sometimes you go, solo mid sometimes. I haven't seen that yet, but we'll see soon.
Oh, you knew the tides were starting to change even like a year ago when IG Faith bought, YYF bought Sentry Wards for Faith.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a harbinger of things to come, perhaps, but we're still not at the stage yet where the supports actually get the farm priority, but someday they will, Lumi.
Actually,
supports will conquer the world.
Like, if you're at 800 gold, you ask your carry to say, man, let me get 3 last hits so I get that Arcane Boots. Like, that should be done, and I think that is done on the high-level games.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, that's not the same as getting, like, farm priority all game.
That's true. Dream on. Dream on.
One of these days, your Crystal Maiden will get to, farm her BKB before Anti-Mage gets Battle Fury.
You're farming Midases. It's getting close.
Yeah, also, I do want to point out that the Midas craze just... Like, they've only got 1 Midas this game, and I think Mirana needed it, but going mass Midas against the way LGD China plays is really weak, because they're just such a good 5-man lineup. And they're so good at these mid-game timings with the mech coming out, the early BKBs and carries. If you go for multiple Midases, it just leaves you very weak right when LGD China are ready to strike.
As much as I love Midases, I'm glad that the craze is not catching on. Looks like Banana, well, that's a solo kill. Pops the BKB to debuff the Frostbite. And Xiao Tuji not sure where he wants to go next. All right, YYF, that's a target. No, they just want the tower.
Yeah, they're fighting through backdoor protection. The creep's not cooperating here. They are going to get a disruption off. Arrow will be blocked by a familiar. Great Visage play. Now 430 on the one. He's been galled up. He hook shots on into Yao. Will isolate him here in the cons, but who's really been isolated? Another 2-hero fissure from DD.
Dunk.
Out comes your slam, mother effing dunk. YYF on the run. 3 heroes dead. Make it a clean 4. Your lone survivor is not going to be alive for much longer. Faith will be dead. It's a full 5-man wipe. You can tap out any minute now if you're IG, because you ain't coming back from this one.
I think the draft really is where it came over. I mean, I have to remind everybody, as well as DD played, his first 5 minutes in this game, he did not do a damn thing.
I think that was a team decision, though. I don't fault him as a player.
Yeah.
LGD China, it's been said before in interviews, Xiao 8 is a very hands-on in-game commander. He's calling the shots here.
Right, so he says, guys, I'm okay here. Make sure our Weaver does not die, and we win the game. And that's kind of what happens.
And this game does highlight some of the big weaknesses of a Bristleback pick. In certain situations can be very strong, but he's not an offlaner like even a Clockwork or a Darkseer or Magnus, who he doesn't offer you a ton of utility later on. His damage output is underwhelming compared to other heroes like a Lifestealer. He's countered by armor. In 5v5 clashes, sure, in theory, you know, he's pretty tanky because of Bristleback, but in practice, he's been dying very quickly in these fights, and he needs to live for a very long time. So it's where I feel like if you run a Bristleback, you just have to have a good start. If you don't, the hero's pretty useless.
Yeah, what we saw Bristleback having success in that IG 16-minute victory, where he actually laned against a Night Stalker. Night Stalker is not really going to kill you in the laning stage, at least if you're careful enough. So he kind of just went from there and started to kind of gank and push with the team. And it snowball out of control. Obviously, when you're on the receiving end of that snowball, Bristleback is next to useless.
In the middle lane, out comes the Desolator working on the tier 2 mid, and the Fissure now deployed. It's going to clip on 2. 4-staff him forward. Gets off the enchant totem. Just a small mini dunk there. That'll be your Shadow Demon down. And they can go Roche. I think that's the way to play this. They probably could break base without it, but why risk it?
I really like the decision to actually go 4-staff instead of Blink Dagger against Cogs as well as a Bristleback Coil Spray. Your Blink Dagger's not going to be as effective. Whereas 4-staff, good defensively, and as we just saw, good offensively as well.
We're really seeing LGD China morph into this team that just wants to play 5-man Dota all the time in the mid game. Even Xiao Tuji is not split pushing. Like, he farms till he gets his BKB on Weaver, and then he just comes to fights. Every fight, in fact. They get all these utility items. They were going for that Mass Midas craze for a little bit, but they seem to be abandoning it, at least for, like, it's been the past 6 games where we haven't really seen any Midases. We saw Xiao 8 going for early mech on Veno. This game it's a Vlad's. And I just think this is a much stronger approach for LGD China. To me, they're not the best team when they try to play for, like, that super greedy split pushing style, because, I don't know, they just get picked off a lot. Their support, and mainly their supports feel like they don't know what to do in that style, but this style, this really suits them.
I don't know what Hao's trying to do. I guess he's trying to pick off a courier. He's close.
He's just desperate.
He's going to go Midas their creeps. Yeah, I'll show them.
Well, his own jungle's not safe. The bottom lane's pushing into the base, though. LGD China up 1 lane of Rex, looking to make it 2, and to take a 2-0 victory over IG. This tower's about to fall, Lumi, and IG, then they got to defend their base. It's only getting harder and harder to see that happening.
Yeah. Xiao Tuji's also got a heart on top of everything else.
And he's got Aegis.
How did he have that one death?
What a feeder. But he's 14-1 and 13.
Yeah, how did he have that one death? I'm so confused.
There's 1 kill he hasn't been involved in, and he has a death. That is just embarrassingly bad. What a disgrace. No, I mean, that's ridiculous. He's been involved in every kill but 1 as a safe lane Weaver. How often do you see that? They go YYF here and just look at him out. He gets disrupted. It ain't going to matter. They come right back with a BKB. They'll clean him up in a hurry. In comes your Soul Assumption. Chase him down. Oh, they don't have the detection to finish him off. Well, he'll live.
Yeah.
But only for now. And just the massive stuff that LGD is throwing in the way of IG gets harder and harder to deal with.
These wards are just like in the
wards, familiars, just constant spam of the swarm as well. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. And if you're not keeping in track, Bristleback gets even more useless when there's a Vlad's on the team, as there is more armor and more damage output against them as well. But for now, they do defend, and Dragon Form's about to end, right? So, you know, I think IG is doing a very decent job holding against this push.
LGD can literally just sit right here
and wait
for it to cool down, because bottom lane's already raxed, so the lane's not pushing out. And I don't even know if they'll bother to. They may just break the base now.
Yeah, Weaver's just straight up pushing. The arrow is not going to hit.
The familiars again tanking the arrow, I believe. Beautiful play here from DDC.
I'm not sure whether it actually did it, but he was definitely having that in mind.
It might have been a creep, but I think it was the familiars. Not sure, though.
Yeah, when you have a heart and a Desolator on your Weaver, he is a saging machine. You go up there, Gemini attack for 2, tank a couple of shots, and you just wait again. But for now, I think they're waiting for that Dragon Knight cooldown.
And they're just getting more and more items. Xiao 8's working on Necro 3. He's already picked up the first book. They've got the Dragon Knight level 3 ult coming soon. He's almost got an AC. I don't see any way for IG to take this fight. They need even beyond a miracle. It would be the greatest comeback in the history of Dota if they win this game.
I think the best thing you could possibly ever do is wait for the AC, wait for the level 16 Dragon Knight, and then disrupt him. And then be like, all right, hope these 2 Dragon Knights illusions going to carry us. Because you do get the Frost attack, you do get the AC aura.
Weaver can just focus that Disruption illusion.
Yeah.
Though. I don't think it lasts that long. Here they go once more under the breach. LGD China looking to end this game too and take home the NEST Grand Finals Championship. They'll bring down Faith here. They've caught YYF. He's next in line. Hal leaped in, and he's got nowhere to go.
Jesus.
That's 3 heroes dead. That's GG. And LGD China reigns supreme here today. They have just smashed IG.
Yeah, NAC champion, and it wasn't even close. This is the longest game.
That makes them, in their past 6 games, they have won every single game around 35 minutes. Several of those games were sub 30 minutes. And I don't know if they've ever trailed in any of their past 6 games. They beat LGD.int, they beat Tong Fu, they now beat IG.
They gave a first blood. Come on.
Yeah, they were losing for a couple of minutes.
And then you know, our Xiao Tuji had that one death. So
as much as we've been singing the support's praises, I mean, Xiao Tuji finished this game 17-1 and 13. He missed out on 2 kills, but that's absurd.
Yeah.
What a Weaver.
What a play.
I think you would have considered banning Weaver against this LGD team, honestly. Like, they really know how to use it.
It's not, I mean, they have so many weapons that if you ban out Weavers, that's all right.
I think though, you'd rather play against LGD China's, like, 4 Protect 1 late game.
Sure.
I think this is their strongest form right now.
Well,
give them an anti-mage.
The Beastmaster game earlier was pretty impressive as well. That was a different type of game. Where
yeah,
they
but
just,
that morphed into the same style, though.
yeah. Well, no, last game they were just ganking straight up. This game they're like, well, I think IG was coming to them more.
Yeah, but then it morphs in the mid-game into this, you know, you group up as 5.
Yeah, they do the same
you
thing
get your
in
mid-game
mid-game.
timing items, the mech, the Force Death, and they go for it. That wraps up this series, Lumi, and that does conclude the NEST. So congratulations to LGD China. They are your champions. And I actually want to see if I can check. I'm not sure how much money they won.
That Google speed.
Yeah, I'm trying. My Google Foo is suspect here. Okay, I'm failing on my Google Foo. I think they win like $16,000. IG do finish 2nd place, so congratulations to them. But guys, that does wrap up our NEST broadcast as well as the tournament. I think the 3rd, 4th place decider might be going on. That is available on Dota TV, but we're not going to be casting it. We will be coming back for you all in about 4.5 hours with WPC Ace. In about 15.5 hours, we come back with the We Play Grand Finals, best of 5, Na'Vi versus Alliance. More info is available on Reddit as well as our Facebook. But for now, we'll take a break. You'll eat, and we'll come back. Yep. Stay tuned, guys.